For the fans, by the fans. Welcome to the only Angels postgame show that keeps it real, win or lose. No filters, no fluff, just raw reactions right after the final out. The Golden Stamos is polished up and somebody's about to take it home. A clutch hit, a game-saving grab, or just straight up hustle. We see you. But if you played like trash, you're getting the dreaded Nacho Night Award. We saw the missed calls, we saw the blown saves, the clutch moments, and the disasters too. Your comments are front and center, and yeah, we read all of them. Wanna let loose? Call in and sound off live. No scripts, no suits, no spin. This is raw, this is real, this is where the fans take over. This is the Heedy Postgame Show with Todd Fox. For the fans, by the fans.
I'm a fox. My name's Todd.
Hey, welcome into another episode of the Halos in the Infield postgame show. I am your host, Todd Fox, fresh off another trip to the Big A, the house that the cowboy built that Artie Moreno made so much better, a.k.a. the Big A. Well, the Big A is home to a team that just can't get out of its own way, and the Angels lose again in what was a very fast game, 2.5 hours. Just the same old shit. Again, if we're going to sit back and really analyze this game analize it, whatever you want to say, the fact of the matter is, if you can't put hits together, you can't pressure the other opponents, you're not going to get nothing done. And like Matthew over there on TikTok said, Kenley, it was diarrhea tonight. Well, you're asking a closer to be something that he's not. A closer does close. That's it. He doesn't go in a tie ball game unless it's the postseason, unless it's a very, very tight ball game that you absolutely need to win. And again, those type of games I've only seen happen in the postseason. And fortunately for the Angels, they love to do this shit in regular season when it doesn't matter and you just can't get out of their own way. They can't get out of their own way. It's like, hey, if it's non-traditional, let's do it. And there's a lot of sad things to see because on the Halos in the Infield post-game show, we're there with you in the stands. I ran into so many people tonight. I sat with Tony C tonight, which was great. I got something to say about sitting with him that wasn't his fault. That was kind of on my fault tonight with it being such a packed house, but that's neither here nor there. I'll get to that when we get a chance. But man, oh man, the Angels just can't get out of their own way. It's another loss where they score less than 3 runs. And on the Halos in the Infield post-game show, we're by the fans, for the fans, by the fans. We had a great time in the stands tonight. We actually go to games unlike Locked On Cox. And it just sucks to see the fans get disappointed. I feel for you all that are in the comments right now, all that are coming back from the game. Like I seen somebody just saying Medicated Mix Show says I just got home from the game. It sucks. It just sucks because Kenley Jansen shouldn't be put in a tie ball game. You know, you could put Detmers, you could put Brock, which we haven't seen in a while. You could have put Stevenson in a tie ball game, kept him in there. There's just a lot of things that could have did better. A lot of other things that could have did better was working walks, getting hits, and they only had 3, and 2 of them left the yard. They were line drive home runs by Hakuna Matata. And 2 runs, 3 hits isn't going to get it done. And they still only lost by 1 run. Anderson didn't pitch all that bad. He only had the 2 walks, but he screwed around a lot. That seemed like the Cubs had a lot of guys on base, but the bend but don't break pitching kept on going. 2 runs, 3 hits, 5 innings pitched, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 1 home run allowed. And guess who? Guess who gave up the home run or got a home run in the first inning? Kyle Tucker, who all I heard before this game was, oh, man, he almost had a fractured wrist or he was playing with a fractured wrist, yada, yada, yada. And he came up there and blasted a home run the first inning. Looked like nothing was wrong because he just does that. He's blindfolded. He could have a knife in his back. He hits a home run. The bullpen was used a lot tonight thanks to our fearless leader, Ray Montgomery. 2/3 of an innings pitched by Fermin, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Chafin only pitched a third of an inning because God knows 4 pitches. That means he's done for tomorrow. Stevenson pitched 8 pitches. He's done for tomorrow. He put up a clean inning. Detmers put up a clean inning. Well, he allowed a hit, 2 strikeouts. And then Jansen with that 4-seam fastball that was right out over the plate in the home run by the rookie. And I was talking with Tony C, and right before he hit that home run, he's like, I really like that Crow Armstrong guy. He's pretty good. I'm like, I don't really follow the Cubs. Let me see how good he is. So I started looking up his numbers, and then before I could finish looking up the numbers, solo home run to end the game. I was really hoping, though, as the Halo honk inside of me somewhere says, you know what? Maybe Trout will tie this game up and we'll go to extra innings. Maybe, just maybe, he could do that. Instead, no, Mike Trout strikes out, and he doesn't just strike out in the 9th inning. He woefully strikes out. I mean, pathetically strikes out. There's so many bad at bats over the last few games where the Angels get in the 9th inning and just boom, 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 boom. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And Tony also pointed out another thing that we've been saying here too with Taylor Ward. Again, sinker ball pitching. It wasn't Tony. It was my boy. God, why am I blanking? I met so many people tonight. Hung out with so many people. It was really, really cool. But God damn it, and he's gonna kill me too. Mason's father. Why am I blanking on his name? Anyway, he told me there was a lot of sinker balls thrown tonight, and there was. The Cubs literally did whatever they wanted to. They got guys like Ward and others just to ground out. A lot of easy outs. 0 for 4 Neto, 0 for 3 Shonawell. Mike Trout 0 for 3 and a walk. 0 for 4 Taylor Ward. 2 for 4 Moncada. That was it. The only other hit came from Joe Adell. 2 more strikeouts for O'Hoppe. No bobblehead magic like Zach Neto. 0 for 3 Christian Moore. And Tendenzio made a great catch again, robbing his second home run in the last 2 homestands, but it wasn't enough. The Angels go down 3-2. Pathetic style. Assad came in with a 5.79 ERA. He goes 6 innings. Of course he does. 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 home run allowed, 1 run on 2 hits. Just too easy again. Cubs got to be licking their chops. They played half-ass baseball and got a dub. Pretty sad. And I would be yelling, but like the Angels, I'm taking a little bit off because it's like these games aren't meaningful anymore. They don't mean nothing. This season is over. It's been over. And I would love for this team to be in the playoff mix or at least around the playoff mix. And I don't know, man. This team is not showing anything. So what I mean by that is, like, say for instance, fly Eagles fly on the road to victory. Mike Trout's he's checked out. You might as well put on your Philadelphia Eagles hat and your jersey and just get ready to go over there to Lincoln Financial. I think if they still call it that in Philadelphia, and get into football mode. Mike Trout looks like he's checked out. He's been checked out most of the season. I mean, you better hit a home run fast so they could pump out those 400 home run bobbleheads. Dude should be like creeping towards 550 right now, not sitting on 398. The season's over, and unless he changes something, he's going to be even worse next year. Dude needs to be hitting 6th or 7th right now. He's too high up in the zone. I mean, he's giving you nothing at 3. And all I heard when I was waiting to leave Anaheim Stadium tonight was from Trent Rush, and I quote, "Hey, you really got to get and give Mike Trout a lot of love. That's 22 straight games where he's reached base. I think he's gotten his act together. He's on one right now. And he will be starting to hit. Trust me, he's got a lot of hits and a lot of walks." Where, dude? Like, I see one getting on base somehow once a game. That's still good, but that's not Mike Trout good. That's not what we need from Trout. Going 0 for 3 in a walk, we need more. We need more, at least, like, we need a clutch hit. There's a guy on base. Don't swing. You know, him and Ward did that. Herman brings that up. It sucked. And I got to say this. So let me just give you player of the game. And I got one for, I got a Nacho Night award, but here's a Golden Stamos. Just because, you know, I should give it to Keller, who the starter gets his 4th win, 6 innings pitched right there. Or no, Keller was a reliever. I'm sorry. I should give it to Assad because he pitched pretty good, got a quality start, but got a no decision. Maybe I give it to Kyle Tucker right there, or the rookie Crow Armstrong. I'm going to give it to our boy Mancada for 2 home runs tonight in 4 at bats. I really wish he would have hit a third, but of course he strikes out to end the game. And the Angels only left 3 men on base. The only time the Angels had a runner in scoring position, Taylor Ward struck out looking. So with that being said, that gets us over to Nacho Night. And I have a special Nacho Night tonight.
For the worst performance of the night, congratulations. You played yourself.
Moldy cheese, stale chips, what a sight. All your dreams gone tonight. Had a bad night, lost the fight. No more crunch, just take a bite. It's the Nacho Night Award.
A very special Nacho Night Award goes to the Anaheim Police. Yes, you heard me, the Anaheim Police. Okay, so I go about my business like every other Angel fan, especially in the last couple seasons. Buy the cheapest goddamn ticket and sit wherever the hell you want, right? Okay, so I do that tonight, and I bought 4 tickets. My dad was there. His buddy came with him. Tony C came with me, and I also had my kids there, and also my girl Stevie Lee. She was sitting over there. They already had our normal seats, and then I just bought cheap seats to sit in the section next to us in 201. So I'm sitting there in 201. And mind you, I'm looking around, the stadium's getting kind of packed, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. It looks like, fans are coming in, but there's plenty of seats here. It doesn't look like anyone's coming. It's like the 3rd or 4th inning. Bottom of the 4th fucking inning. Nobody's still coming. It's gotten crowded, yes, but nobody's asked us to move. There's some dipshit behind us, 3 rows over behind us, yelling and screaming F-bombs, so the Anaheim cops are already looking at him, right? So as they're doing that, this family comes down. Dude, we're talking almost the 5th inning. The Angels are on their way to striking out of the 4th inning, and all of a sudden they come in the aisle, oh, we need these seats. I'm like, motherfucker. Okay, so that's my bad. That's my bad, okay? I didn't think this many people were going to come for a team in late August with a shit record. I don't care, bobblehead or not. The Angels don't deserve this many fans there. You could say it's the Cub factor, but even I'm sitting there as an Angel fan like, damn, there's way too many Angel fans here. But anyway, that being said, why am I giving the special nachos to the Anaheim Police Department? Because they happen to be walking by when the family was like, oh, these are our seats. And then the cop just makes it his business to come over to me and go, oh, so are these your seats? And I said, no, we're getting up right now. You're the one making all this confusion. And I look back at the guy yelling the F-bombs with the cops right there. And I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. So I get up and remove, and I'm like, I just didn't figure there'd be this many people here. And then some jackass sitting behind us was like, there's plenty of room in the Budweiser Pavilion. Go fuck yourself. And then the cop goes, well, if you guys don't move, I'm going to get the ushers. That's why he gets the nachos. So you've got a motherfucking gun and a billy club strapped to your guy. And I didn't even know they could still wear those things. And he has a billy club strapped to the side of his waist and a gun. And he says, if you guys don't move, man, I'm going to have to get the ushers. Oh, you mean the 69-year-old ushers? So you have a gun and a billy club, and you're like, oh, we got to defer to the ushers. Oh, I'm scared. It's like, dude, I'm getting up. We're already moving, and you're fucking trying to pull your weight. And then when I think you're pulling your weight, jackass opens his mouth. Then you're like, I'm going to get the ushers, teacher. Man, that's more pathetic. Like, I actually had a shred of freaking respect for you for about a minute. And then you pulled that. And then I'm like, all right, you guys are dipshits. So then we move. And the whole reason why they're there is, like I said, that guy was being very belligerent, throwing F-bombs, high and drunk as fuck, right? Disturbing the entire section. So we get up to back to where my family's at. And then what do the Anaheim Police Department do? Just stand there. Don't do nothing. Don't remove the guy at all. At all. The usher comes up and taps him on the back like, hey, quiet down or we're going to have to get rid of you. You mean the cops couldn't do that? So this guy continues to mouth off. And it's like literally after Kenley Jansen gives up the home run, where he starts really saying some like shit that you would hear in the ghetto outside of a 7-Eleven, like at 3 a.m. by a homeless person. He's shouting some crazy ass shit. And then finally they decide, and the cops didn't even remove him. The cops stood there with their hands on their hips like they're going to do the Macarena, and the CSC, the most useless security guard system, comes over there and they just walk him out. So I'm like, damn, dude, you guys were useless. You ruined my good time there by acting like an asshole. Again, you didn't have to tell me nothing. I got up. I volunteered once they said, but you just had to mouth off. And then you got the other guy to feel emboldened behind me, the old man. And you're lucky the cops were right there, because I was going to give him the middle finger and say, shut the fuck up. Mind your own fucking business. Right? We weren't affecting him. He was just sitting a row behind. And then you had loud ass guy all game saying all kinds of crazy shit until Jansen really gave up the home run. Then they decided to do something. Just when you think you've seen it all, just when you think you've experienced it all, we saw the fan a couple games ago run on the field. That was our video. Thanks to Marty Boylan there, our Australian fan. Dude, it's just like, right when you think you've seen it all, there's new lows every time. Like, and then I run into a friend I hadn't seen in forever. He came by and we're talking, chatting it up. And then the cameraman of all people starts yelling at him saying, hey man, you're shaking my booth. It's like, Dick, he's leaning on the damn thing. He's not shaking it. It's like, wow, dude, like there's just so much shit tonight to where I had more fun running into, like, I must have ran into about 20 or 30 people tonight, all coming by to say hi. And I appreciate running into Strange and everybody else that was there. But my God, was it annoying tonight. It was good. And here's the thing too. Cubs fans are super nice. Why was there so many police there tonight? I mean, literally there was police everywhere. Yet when we're playing a team with an obnoxious fan base, you can't find them. And the freaking ushers are on their own. Doesn't make a lick of sense. So it was a rough game. 2 runs, 3 hits. They've mailed it in. They have mailed it in. And again, you're going to see guys like Tendencio. You're going to see Simo start to. I will bet you anything that Simo hits 300 in September, raises his average. And then you could look at the end of his season and say, okay, if it wasn't for an injury, he came up late as rookie. You can't hold this against him. But you're going to see some bright spots next season. Simo will get off to a good start, and the Angels will be in a better spot. But everybody else, the win jerseys, bro, were everywhere. The W's were everywhere tonight for the Cubs, and I give them mad respect for bringing those out. Again, the Cubs fans weren't obnoxious. They were just being regular fans, cheering, and that's what happens when your team sucks, which is our team, the Angels. you can't support, you can't support them. They're not winning. Other fans come to see them and they take over your stadium, and it happens. But I love the fact that they were respectful. I think between them, the Giants, and there's been a couple other teams where I've been pleasantly surprised how nice the fans were, and just like very talkative and stuff like that. I even had a couple Cubs fans come over to me when they saw me talking, and they were like, they overheard our conversations about the podcast. They're like, "Oh, you do a podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, that was really cool." Like they were like, "Oh, that's cool, man. We're a Cubs fan. What is your information?" They got the information. They're like, "All right, we're following, man. That's cool." Like Cubs fans are cool, man. Like we had a good time. So I had no I had no problems with them, but it seemed like the Anaheim PD, our Ruckus Angel fans, um, that was some shit tonight. And watching the game, also Padre fans right there too. They were pretty awesome, except the ones that ribbed my girl over there. They were giving her a hard time. Win or lose, Heedy is always on. That's something I, as a fan, appreciate. I appreciate that. We try to be here for all the fans here tonight. In another tough loss, and I gotta say this. As we're gonna wrap up the baseball season, we're gonna be here in the dog days of summer in September. But I implore you guys and girls, if you guys want to be a part of the Pick'em Show on our football network, which will be premiering here on the Heedy Network on both TikTok, YouTube, and X. You can, by putting in the pot, the winner gets a custom football jersey of their choice. Second place gets a shirt of their choice and a hat of their choice as well. It's all part of the Unfiltered Sports Network joining us to do some football. I'll be doing pick'ems on the page as well. You could join us if you pitch in $20. That gets you in the whole season. We put a graphic with your name on it, your win, loss, and tie record. As we pick all the games moving forward, and the first place gets a jersey of your choice. It could be baseball, basketball, football, soccer, hockey, whatever you want. You get that jersey at the end of the season. So yes, we have all that coming up. Plus, we got hockey. But for right now, we're going to be with you to the end, talking Angels baseball, trying to pull the positives towards the end of the season. Like, hey, who's going to come up big in September? The big September call-ups. Who's going to be DFA'd, because there's going to be a few more of those. But I'm going to give a shout out to Tendenzio tonight. Big catch in center field. All the talk that we've talked the last few weeks, when guys make mistakes, when they crash into each other, like the Cubs did tonight with, I think it was Tucker in right field, the second baseman as well, crashed into him. The guy who just seems to be patrolling center field really good is Tendenzio, Bryce. He's out there timing the catch at the wall, not banging into the wall first. He's got a really good, strong arm. He's just a really good outfielder. And like a few of you have said here in the comments, or I've even heard at the stadium, people are like, man, if he could just get his swing down. I think we said the same thing about Kyron Paris, dude. Nelson Rada hasn't made his way up here yet, but I really want to. Yes, I would, Baldwin. I'd get you a Giants jersey, but I really want to see these guys start to hit for average. If you get Tendenzio hitting for average, that's more times he's on base, just running a havoc and on the pitching squad of the other team. And then also the same thing with Kyron Paris. Kyron Paris is faster than Tendenzio, but he has that uppercut swing. He went for that Aaron Judge hitting coach strategy in the offseason. I think he needs to dial it down. Shoot, I hope he can, because again, home runs are nice, but man, he'd be so much better of a tool for our arsenal if he was going for hits. But we'll see. A says once Bryce figures it out at the bat, he will have PCA like season. Well, again, these guys can do really good if they make contact, and I believe it. I don't think you need to be hitting for exit velocity, none of that shit. So we'll have to see what happens moving forward with those hitters, but definitely Cubs fans, they weren't even disrespectful to tell us this.
Oh no! What happened? Oh no! How terrible! That's just awful! How terrible! Oh no!
They were actually just kind of like, they were chill. And I, man, look, Vote for Bond says drunk nights like this is when I question my fandom. Rusty Shack says, any update on Ron Washington? He's done. His career is over. He's retired. There's no way. I have insiders that are telling me there's no way he'll ever coach again. His heart is too erratic right now. They don't want to say it, but that's the overwhelming thought right there. It's a shame, but Ron Washington will not be remembered as an Angels manager. He'll be remembered for the good old days, taking Texas to within a pitch of the World Series win. They should have beat St. Louis, going back-to-back World Series, and just being an overall great guy in the locker room in Atlanta. But definitely the vibe around the stadium tonight, which was nearly a sellout for a team that is now 6-7 games under 500, 6 games, was, hey, I'm hoping that this team is good. We have a decent, optimism in the first few innings, but then I think everyone settled in and was just like, okay, it's feeling like a loss. And that's sad when it's like 5 innings in, you're already feeling like it's lost unless something special happened. And Mancada hit the second home run. You're thinking, okay, maybe. Mike says Kenley blew it, brother. He did. But again, how many times have you seen up until recently with analytics a closer coming in and in a ninth inning in a tie ball game? It never happens unless it's postseason or it's critical games down the stretch. We're not in a critical game, but this team is loving analytics, and that's what it does. Gray Hair Ware says, this is my first time here. Well, welcome in. I hope you keep coming back into the comments. We read them all. Alvarez says, what do you think about the Mets fan base on New York? The Mets fan base is truly, truly, listen, if you go on to iHeartRadio and you go to, I forget the station that's on NY, they have Boomer Esiason and a few other guys that are on there. I think even Michael Kay's on there. I forget what station it is. Anyway, long story short is, how like over here in local talk radio, it'll be Lakers most of the year, or they try to sprinkle in football, push away baseball, even with the Dodgers being so good. They don't talk as much Dodgers as they really should. The Dodgers should get a lot more love in the LA market, but they don't. Listening to the fan, that's what it is. The fan in New York on iHeart. Their fans are passionate. They talk Mets and Yankees all year. That is the main. They talk about them more than the Jets and Giants in football, and that's saying something. That is definitely one market that loves baseball. And I know there's others that put baseball first, but I respect the Mets fan base for being critical because they've spent so much, and I respect the Yankees as well because, again, they're always trying. That's something I can't say for my own organization. Thoughts on re-signing Johan Mancada? I think he's going to hit free agency. We're too stupid to re-sign him. Besides, he's had a couple of injuries. He will be one of the best third basemen out on the market, which should tell you something. The market's kind of weak this year, in a year that the Angels really need some hitters and some pitchers. Bring back the California Angels, 100% right there. Still happy about the Blue Crew losing because was that your World Series? Yeah, some people don't agree, but if I have to look back to the highs and lows, yeah, I mean, it was our World Series. What's your thoughts on Trent Rush and Roger Lodge? I can't stand him. AM 830 is terrible. You got Trent Rush going, hey, I really like these guys. And I'm going to be over there at Brewery X. I'm going to be on the patio, and you can come over and touch my nipples in my tight shirt. And I'm going to tell you stories about how good this team is. And then Roger's like, oh, boy, we're going to talk a lot on the Sports Lodge, live from the stadium that the Cowboy built, that Artie Moreno made so much better, a.k.a. the Big A in Anaheim, as we're going to talk Lakers basketball, UCLA Bruins basketball. We're going to talk the Rams and the war in Ukraine, and we'll sprinkle in some Angels in between commercials talking about Kettle One vodka. That's AM 830 in a nutshell. 710 does first pitch with Travis and DeMarco every day at 9 a.m. Travis... yeah, I remember that dude he got his start here on the Angels very first year. I like DeMarco. Not a big fan right there. What's wrong with AM 5730 own channel? No, it's not. I get they are a Dodger station, but if they could talk football 570 sways from baseball. If they could talk Lakers, 570 sways from it. When I used to listen to terrestrial radio, that used to bug the shit out of me because even though I hate the Dodgers, sometimes I would want to keep up on the Dodgers because hey, you keep your friends close and your enemies closer. So I used to always want to know what's going on with the Dodgers because I fucking hate them to this day. I still hate them, and I want them to lose. So if there was a chink in that armor, I wanted to know about it. My Angels used to be a good team, and they used to have a good manager, and they used to have the rally monkey, which none of that they have. I need to get blamed every year for keep losing baseball games. Also, Blue Review 6:30 a.m. every day on YouTube. Okay, well, I'm not gonna watch that. Big says, "Preach, brother." I will be mad if my team in the New York Mets play around and they lose. I would be mad too because that team's really good, and although the Phillies are really good too, there's no reason why the Mets should be underneath them. The Mets should be either right there tied with them or ahead of them. Other than Artie and the A's owner, who else should be gone? Pirates owner. Pirates owner is a piece of shit. Also, the Angels used to have a good players. What happened to those players? Disney. Do your research. As soon as Artie started getting rid of Disney associates and freaking scouts and going cheap, we lost all that good vibes. A good game from a Cubs fan. Respect to you, Tanner. Also, Trout stinks. I can't disagree right now, dude. That guy has fallen off a fucking cliff. Funny you say that I'm a bleed blue, but I like baseball time. No, it's no problem with that, Rusty. No, I didn't mean to disrespect at all, dude. Like again, I love baseball too. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't. I just wish I could talk about my Angels in the postseason. Yeah, Artie Moreno is shit. Love seeing fellow passionate Angel fans will get out of this hole one day. And that's why I want to tell you guys and girls, as we're going to get into other comments over here on this side, is the fact that someday things will change. And when we get into the postseason, Heedy will have one of the biggest celebrations of all time. We will do some great things because we got some great things that don't even involve the Angels. Angels don't even want to help us out with our charity work. We got a charity softball game on September 20th. And I'm just letting you know, we might have a few celebrities there. So we got to keep that in mind too. We're going to have fun with that. Registration should be up here soon and everyone can get in there and play. We're going to have food and everything. So it should be fun. At least we can make some fun out of the season while the Angels continue to just coast. Angels in the outfield was one of the best things that came out of the Disney fiasco. You hear the new division. It's not going to happen. I talked about that last night. There's no way you separate the Giants and Dodgers. No way. No way. That's not going to happen. Mateo checks in with Spritz o'clock, so that means we got to play this real quick as I jump between sides.
Yeah! I love winning, man. I fucking love winning. You know what I'm saying? It's like better than losing.
Spritz o'clock, Angels play. Win or lose, we toast today. Sip and cheer, no matter score. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more.
I love winning, man. I fucking love winning. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Oh no, we suck again. Grillmaster says also Terry Smith on the radio was talking all about Pete Crow Armstrong. Yeah, and Pete Crow Armstrong is a good player. Tony C popped that out. I didn't even think of, or didn't even see him like that. And then, damn, what a big home run.
Fat son of a bitch is gonna drown us all out. He's gonna calm down, okay? All right? He's fat!
Yeah, there's no way that Tanner says Padres, Angels, Dodgers, Giants. It's not going to be like that. From what I heard, my insiders, it's either going to be the Utah franchise team, a Portland franchise team, along with Vegas, Seattle. It's either one of those franchise teams, Vegas, Seattle, and the Angels. And then the NL West will stay the same except the Rockies. Rockies will move to the Midwest Division or the Southwest Division. One of the two. Also, Angel Stadium is falling apart. It is. Look at it. I mean, it got cracked tonight, but that was off the home run. How can I get that video? Which one? Oh, Rusty. Oh, that's one we made up. You remember New York Mets sold the team to a better owner, and that's what we're waiting for. And he flirted it a couple of years ago. Tanner says Nashville deserves a team over Utah. Well, Nashville is already in place, and Orlando's in place to get a team. Nashville's going to get one on the east side, so they're going to get a National League team. But Orlando's probably going to get the Rays, and then it's either Utah or what's the other one? Portland, and there's possible Montreal. In Montreal, yeah. So you would have 34, 16 teams. You'd have 4 divisions of 4. So it'd be a lot like football. Send the videos to Petros and Money, please. Oh, geez. Let's see. Let's go down here. Balls, and solo home runs don't amount to wins. Rob says about time they took Anderson out after the 5th inning. Dude barely made it that long. EQ says, fuck. And then also Tyler says, I knew Tucker and PCA would homer. I freaking knew it. It was an absolute joke. Holy crap. Next owner for the Angels, hopefully soon. We'll see, because again, there's 2 months that are coming up that are going to be very critical, and that's October and November for the Angels. What do you think moving the Mets to the American League and the Red Sox, Phillies, and Yankees? It's not going to happen, dude. Again, like, basically think of this. Think of how the NFL did their division split up. The NFC North stayed the same with the exception of Tampa, right? The only divisions that got kind of kooky and quirky and out of place was the South. And even with the Rams were in the West, but they were playing in St. Louis at the time. So they stayed in the West because of the rivalry with the Niners. Cowboys stayed in the East, although they're in the Midwest. So you're going to have some regional rivalries that make sense, and then you're going to have some that don't make any sense because they have to not make sense to allow others to make sense. So in all actuality, I don't think they're going to break up the Nationals, the Braves, and the Phillies and the Mets. I think the Marlins could get the boot out of that division for sure, since they're so they could be like the Southeast division. They could be with one of those other teams. I don't know what happens with the Pirates, because in the Central, I would think they would want the Cubs-Brewers rivalry to exist. Cardinals, Cubs, Brewers rivalry, because they've been around for so long. Cincinnati Reds, one of the oldest teams. They're not going to move out of that division. So all that you saw in that whole thing is just pure speculation by the MLB Network. That's where that came from, that slide that you saw. There's no way. I mean, even they were throwing the Pirates and the Orioles in the same division. I mean, none of that makes sense. You're not going to break up the NL East or the AL East either. I mean, you can kick Tampa Bay out of there and move them into a division with the Marlins, make them a National League team on the East Coast. It would make sense. Stuff like that you can play with. You could put the Pirates in their division. It would be a weak-ass division, but look what you got in the NFL. You got the NFC South, which is one of the most terrible divisions out there, but it makes sense where they're playing. And you start new rivalries that way, because, again, you don't want to throw away your Toronto Blue Jays, Boston Red Sox. Some people don't think so, but that's a rivalry. Toronto Yankees is a rivalry. Obviously, Yankees Red Sox is a rivalry. Orioles and Yankees have met in the postseason, rivalry. Orioles and Red Sox, rivalry. Orioles don't like the Blue Jays, rivalry. The odd man out's Tampa Bay. You got to think about it like that. Where it gets a little janky is, what do you do with the Royals? Do you keep them with the White Sox because they are rivals in that division, or do you value Detroit? Because obviously Kansas City's down a little bit more. They're not exactly where Chicago is with the White Sox, and Detroit and Minnesota. They're kind of clustered right there. So what do? Do you move them into a division with maybe the Rockies, the Astros, the Rangers? That could be a good division. Like you can come up with something like that. That could be your new Midwest South or something. So I think there's a lot to play with, and it makes a lot of sense. But a lot of that stuff's going to be coming to the forefront once the collective bargaining agreement. Like, we should know by Olympics time, in my opinion, where all the divisions are going to be, who's going to be in what division, what the expansion teams are going to be, if we have a ceiling for the salary cap, if we have a floor, if we're going to have automatic robot permanent umpires. A lot of stuff, dude. A lot of stuff. And it's going to be, look, as long as there's not a prolonged strike or a strike, I think it's bad for baseball if we get any kind of strike. It'll chase away the casual fans. It will chase away the international fans. You have got ratings up the ass right now, and they are making money on the baseball right now. It would be very, very sad to go back on any of the success that the World Baseball Classic has generated, the upcoming Olympics will generate, and also the international intrigue because of all the great international players coming to the game. Dominican, Puerto Rican, Cuban, Korean, Japanese. It is the world's game, and that's what makes it exciting. And that's why I love it. Doesn't matter where you come from, you can dominate in baseball. So it's not like, I love hockey, but for the most part, you got your Russians, your Serbs, your Canadians. There's not too many American players that are top notch, and that's why that sport struggles. But every nation, even Australians, can see their brethren play in with the other major league players and be like, oh, that dude's from like the Angels got a first Italian born player on their team. If you haven't heard that from Gooby for like 600 times. So you got all this that you can say, hey man, like even my girl, she's Honduran. She knows of a couple Honduran players. I didn't even know till I got with her that Andrew Heaney's mostly Honduran. So again, you can go back and be like, hey, that's one of my people right there. And there's nothing wrong with it, because it's just like the Olympics. You choose sides, you choose your background, and it's fun. You like to root for players that look like you, so it's cool. And I think that's what makes baseball special. Me personally, I think baseball needs more African American players in it. And I think they've been trying that whole RBI program, but it hasn't worked as good as they want. But again, the more flavor, the better. I think it's just better for baseball. Let's see. Let me get down here because I missed a lot of comments. I was doing a lot on TikTok. Andrew says, once again, I'm just waiting for duck season to happen so I can stop watching this dog shit team. And of course, Grillmaster says a guy with a 5 ERA looks ungodly against us as well. Frost Spray says another pathetic loss over a decade of losing. As a fan, it's so disheartening because this team teases us and shows us what they can be. And it's true, man. It is true. What's the difference between soccer and baseball? I don't know. It seems like a joke to me. LT says just getting home. That game was on the manager tonight. It was. You don't bring a closer in a tie ball game, but we seem to do that a lot. 4 teams, though, that's 105 players. Can we really expand like that? We can, Tanner, but that also brings more players, more money. I like this one right here. Do the Marlins have any rivals? When they are good, yes, but they haven't been good. Shane says, someone say cookie. Oh, boy, Kathy's cookies, man. I forgot to get some tonight. Do you think it will happen in baseball, have a cap of salary, yes or no? Right now, if I had to bet on it, they're going to go on strike before we get anything like that. But the game needs it because the NBA is getting into a spot too where they're running into trouble. But look at the sport that has flourished since they've put a salary cap on it, and that's football. And football, it's so much easier to have a turnaround. Whereas baseball takes a little bit longer, basketball takes a little bit longer. You need a salary cap, dude. And I do miss Mike Scioscia. LA Galaxy or the Angels are doing better than Anaheim. Lamont Wade Jr. is too many African Americans for is one too many. That's mean, Shane. That's mean. We also have a couple others on the team. Christian Moore, obviously. Kyron Paris. We had opportunities tonight. Strange says, let's blow through the bullpen because analytics said no. Shitty managing. Nice meeting you, bud. And D's nuts. Yes, it was nice meeting you too tonight, Shane. Big time fan right there, and nice to meet your girl as well. Got to sit with you or buy you a beer, man, for sure. Where's the D's nuts thing? Did I lose it again? There it is.
These nuts. Got him. Got him.
Sega Boy says Patrick O'Neill is so annoying. Also, Anderson fucking sucks. Mancada has a pretty swing. I bet Gooby hates Friays. Also, 21 starts without a win. Employing a player like that. I can't wait to see Dana. Also, Baldwin says that weird looking Cub hitting the last home run sucked. He looks like an albino hitman. He does have those big time blonde eyebrows. How many kids want to be an Angel fan at this moment? Boy, that's a tough sell. That is a very tough sell. Shane says, yeah, I like those guys, though. Sell the team to Disney again. Man, believe me. And right now, I haven't heard nothing yet, Corey. If I do, I will let you guys know for sure. Savage Garden type of night tonight. Absolutely. Sega says just fucking singing Take Me Home and saying Deo sitting in silence. I was there. We just let other teams get louder than us. Dude, if you were there, you should have came by and say hi, dude. Like so many people came by, and I appreciate that. So if you wanted to say hi, dude, I would have totally said hi, Mr. Sega Boy. By the way, if you guys are familiar or not familiar with Locked On Cox, there was some very, very questionable audio that I got back from Gavin's show, and I'm going to premiere it here. So I just have to say to all the fans out there, if you have small children in the room, ask them kindly to leave, because this is what they talk about when they talk Angels baseball on that other supposed fan network.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Gavin Carlson, former credentialed journalist in the LA area.
I got my friend here in my bedroom, my childhood house, and I really, really, really want that.
How about a yummy tasting nut?
I got to bend over and find it. I know he's front and center. Why not pull it out so you guys can see it? But looks good from behind too. Oh my goodness.
It's hard. It's hard. Oh man, it feels great. Oh, yummy. Oh, how about a yummy? Oh, come on, magic. Oh my goodness, guys, tasting nut.
That's some pretty descriptive stuff. I mean, like, listen, I may not hit all the that's disgusting. I may not all hit all the things that happen in the game. I try to be very descriptive. I try to break down the games, but man, oh man, they really get into it and into some questionable things that I don't know if I would get into that. Shane says Locked On Cox. Grillmaster says you might meet some of my family. All right, there. I'm looking forward to that. Also, what a catch, Q Lombardi right there. Yeah, even Lombardi had no idea he was going to make that catch.
What the hell's going on out here?
Also, Alvarez says, wish you could send a letter to those commissioners to help those words seem to become better. I really wish, dude. I wish I could be a voice out there, but they don't like listening to fans like us because, again, Artie Moreno has heard the same thing from you, me, and everybody else on social media at the stadium when he walked the concourse, when he used to be brave enough to do that. And when he would do that in spring training is we need pitching. We need starting pitching. Doesn't matter how many times we yell it from the top of a mountaintop. He doesn't give a shit. It's like the first thing you should do as an owner is listen to the fans. And that might sound stupid to some people, but no, the fans have the best pulse in the team. And if the owner's not doing what he should be, or the manager, they're going to let the owner hear it, either by not showing up, by booing. Players, same shit. And the fact that we've been screaming, we need starting pitching, and this team refuses to do it, it just goes to show you where the priorities are for this owner and the fact that he does not give one shit what you or me think. Do you remember the movie when they filmed the Cleveland Indians? Yes, I do. The owner was the ex-owner of the Mets. He was the worst ever. He didn't listen to nobody. I do remember that. Signed Tony Gosselin for $100 million. Right there, he'd be an automatic number one. Sega Boy says Trent Rush can lick the bottom of shoes. Ray Montgomery and Terry Smith for Nacho Night. Also, well, went to the Anaheim Police. My dad went tonight, and for the fourth time this year, he said, "That's it. I'm not going to another game." So next homestand, he'll be there. I pray when I see people with helmet nachos. Yeah. Also, what happened to the umpire or to the empire of New York Yankees with George Steinbrenner? They literally went against what they should have did, and which is keep things the way he was running it. And the son has no idea how to run the Yankees. He just thinks big bad contracts will win it, and they can't do it. Angels need a deep clean. Absolutely. The chronic taco nachos are the best at the Big A. Standard Angels, my friend Saucy says, fuck the Anaheim PD. Sega says, Frost says Kyle Tucker is going to go off in this series. I could see that happening too. You know, Todd, the Angels' policies on swearing and saying how you feel are pretty soft. They are. You really can't get too loud. The Archangel says maybe those cops were sent by Mocked on Cox. Grandma's over Disneyland. Angel Suck says that's exactly why I hate the fucking Angels organization. Saucy also says watching players they should have sold off is maddening. And he was bringing that up a lot tonight. Jacob says, my guy. Shane says, I'm hungry now. Nachos sound good. Yeah, but they also give diarrhea. So sprinkle a little Pepto over the top of those. The two biggest evil owners in sports are Jerry Jones and George's son. Man, I can't disagree with that, but the only thing I'll say is at least he gets them to the postseason, which is more than what I could say for Artie. Also, how have the Angels played in Sacramento and bring the A's to Anaheim? They're probably a better run organization. It was a great atmosphere, Frost says, tonight. Was walking out and seeing all the Cubs fans flying those W's felt real shitty, but they weren't doing them in your face. That's what I'm saying. They were at least being respectful, at least the ones I saw. How long have you been an Angels fan for? Since 1986. Yes, 1986. Actually, well, those were the first games I saw. Waste of time to have those dumbass police there. They need to go fight crime somewhere else. Blood Moon says, I give up on this team. Same results, different year, and repeat. Wash, rinse, and repeat until we get a new owner. Yep. Also, what are they going to do tomorrow, Todd? We're going to be in 260. I have no idea. Your guess is good as mine because they don't seem to be taking this season, or at least the end of it, trying to get to 500 very seriously. Tamir 20 says, just when you think Angel Stadium couldn't get any more lower tonight, it said, hold my beer. It sure did. The Archangel says, all the games I've attended, I've been blessed by people sitting right behind me who don't shut the fuck up the whole game talking nothing about baseball. Yeah, they're usually talking about their sons or their daughters, what they're going to cook, how the soccer game was, stuff like that. Cubs fans do know ball. Reds fans know ball, and the Cubs fans know ball. Giants fans know ball. Dodger fans don't know ball for some reason. I don't like Padre fans. They always bitch. Tyler says, freaking Patio kept saying the Halos are still in it. Q, oh my God. Yeah, that's him, but
Oh my
also, my favorite thing about Artie Moreno is that he's old enough to die soon. That sucks. Also, Ass says, I wanted to see Seth throw, but I heard he's already been sent down. He was. And you think losing, I will stand outside the stadium with a sign, sell the team. I tried that actually last year, but it didn't work out. So we need to get a lot more fans on board and then maybe bring some attention, call the news media, put it on social media, tag MLB Network, get it to go national. That's how you do it. And but you need more than just a few guys there. You need friends, family, kids, grandmas, everybody. They'll soon be in a division with the Dodgers and Padres. No, it's not going to happen, dude. Trust me, it's not going to happen. The Angels need to play every game as if they were playing against the Dodgers. Yes. Can we write a petition to sell a team? It's been done before. Todd, who do I send the money to for the pick'ems? I'll put out my Cash App for that. Also, Gibby says Trout flops again late. The stupid Ray trots out Jansen and lose again. He's hurt. Why the hell is he pitching? Yeah, he's supposed to be hurt, missing games, and he's put out there. Drunk Nights, I already read that one right there. Balls is my birthday coming tomorrow. Ron should be okay as long as he doesn't coach anymore. Of course, two players that have been struggling to hit home runs tonight. You need to start hitting again. Just play the Angels and you'll get it right. Volt Bonds for Hall of Fame says Jansen hasn't been right since he pitched 3 days in a row against the Dodgers. The Angels suck says such a fucking sad joke that one player can hit 2 home runs in a game. The rest of the team scrapes together 1 hit. Fucking joke. Also, Marty says, what the hell happened out there? Yep.
What the hell's going on out here?
Pretty ass. That's what. Also, don't sell a team. Just give it to the Skaggs family. I heard that they want to add 2 more teams to the wild card and base with a future. I don't like that. I know that you're going to add 2 more teams, but I don't think adding 2 more wild cards is going to help. I think that just, to me, in hockey and in basketball, it cheapens the regular season. It just cheapens the regular season. Keep it the way it is. You're absolutely at your max right now. Message me, Mateo. I'll send you the Venmo stuff. Every year I hear when the team doesn't make the playoffs. Plus, also sell the team should be change the name instead of Los Angeles Angels. Baldwin says Mets fans tend to be jerks. They don't realize they are in the same boat as Angel fans. They just got a better owner. Can I say something? Mancada has been more efficient and effective than number 6. Absolutely. Jansen blew it, man. This lineup sucked ass tonight outside of Mancada. Marty says, just a thought. I think the games and parking are cheap. Any concern with having to pay way more money if new ownership comes in? It's hard to say. Let me just put this out there in the comments if you guys want to answer. If we got a new owner tomorrow and he said, okay, a few changes. No more $4.50 beers, but I'm going to keep the beers at $16 for tall cans. I'm going to keep the food right where it's at, but now parking's $40. Now, keep in mind, you have Noble where you can park for free. You have other places you can park for $10, but Anaheim Stadium, you're going to have to walk in and pay $40. Are you okay with that? Ticket prices going up $2 to $3 per section. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with that with a new owner on, with him not making the team good yet, with him just inheriting the team? Or are you good with that or not good with that, even if he puts a winner? Like if he puts a winner together and it's 2 seasons of like pretty good baseball and we're confident going into series, are you okay with that? Paying a little bit more for a winning team, for a team that's contending, for a team that's in the postseason? Because I'll give you my answer. Hell yeah. I'll pay $40 parking, or I'll get a parking pass, or I'll walk into the stadium. Whatever the fuck I got to do to see my team. If they're playing much better and they are legit like contender, shit, absolutely. How much money do the Angels cost right now in the market? Right now, and yeah, you're right, Gerardo. It does work for the Dodgers. Right now, the Angels, when he was threatening to sell or exploring it, $3.5 billion was a max bid. Right now, if I had to say, even without Ohtani, I would say you're looking at close to 5 for the team. And that's only if they get the stadium retrofitted and they get the TV deal. You could say 6. Because the new TV deal in the year of 2025 is going to be kick ass for any major league team. That's another thing that they're working on for the actual collective bargaining agreement. If they do that, this team is going to be worth a shit ton of money. Again, Denver Broncos, different sport, but they sold for 6.5. I forget what the Mets sold for, which was a pretty penny to Cohen's. And there's been other teams that have sold recently that, got a really hefty price for a team franchise you wouldn't think. Also, I'd literally pay any single price to see the Angels' first postseason game. See that, and that's the thing. That's why they're going to win, because Angel fans haven't. It's been a decade, so you have a whole generation who haven't seen it yet. Isaac says, "Once a Dodger fan, always a Dodger fan." Fine. Make podcast equipment more expensive. Billy says, "Oh, thank you for the compliment." He's calling this stuff inexpensive. Fuck you. Well, if you are, anyway. The season has been a success considering where we were last season. It is, and it has been. Believe the Angels will hire one day Girardi and become the manager of the Angels. Sell the team to the Bus family. I actually would take it to the Cronkies, dude. Cronkies would make this team fast and furious good. How many people want to buy the Mets and Yankees if they sell right now? Shit, that's FU money right there. Hey, Todd, do you remember Garrett Anderson's 10 RBI night? I sure do. Rockies owners got to go as well. The Rally Monkey videos are getting pure sus. The one tonight was all right, but the last one Tuesday, Ariana Grande and some witch, had nothing to do with the hype or anything, just straight up sus. Plus, they don't even play the whole songs anymore. I've been bringing 2002 been binging 2002 playoff videos because I'm depressed. Demetrio says, really enjoyed the Angels center fielder video earlier today. I too went with Erstad. 32 viewers and 4 likes. Come on, y'all. Let's get going. Right now it's at 90, 58 on X, but I do appreciate that. Does Perazo get the truck since he hit the windshield? Jeez. Moist, and hey. Good hanging out with you tonight, Eric. Todd, are you ready to meet the fam? Yes, I am. Miguel says, dead ass. I get so depressed watching Trout go up there to bat. He just can't catch up to a fastball, man. It's really tough to watch, especially when you really want him to have a big moment. Exactly. When you want him to be clutch and he doesn't do anything. It's so sad. Do you think Jerry Jones will sell the team or he will pass it to his son? He's going to pass it to his son. There's too much money in that team to just relinquish it to somebody else. I really do believe that World Baseball Classic moment against Ohtani still haunts him to this day. It does. It literally does. Remember, Arizona was in the NFC East before that change. I do too. No wonder why we lost. Patio was there. I blame it on him as well. Can't wait for a football show. You guys are going to be saying some good things about the Broncos. Sure are, Tyler. Baldwin says, but to take away a potential Subway World Series or a potential Freeway World Series anyway would be dumb. That's why I don't see it. Kansas City and St. Louis will never be in the same division. White Sox and Cubs will never be in the same division. Angels, Dodgers will still never be in the same division. Yankees, it's just not going to happen. But for some reason, we got Texas and Houston together, but that's more regional, and Houston might leave that division. So who knows? Do you give the money to this guy who's playing right now and in New York City, the Angels, Juan Soto? I can't believe they give him that kind of money, but I wouldn't have given him $700 million, especially for just one. He's not a two-trick pony, at least that with Ohtani. Even Ohtani's way overpaid. Manfred just got what he wanted, the expansion talk. It's going to be used as leverage for the lockout now. It sure is. Tyler says Patio always sounds like the guy that knows nothing about baseball and won't shut up about the game. Don says, I really hope we resign Johan. Easily has become one of my favorite players on the team. He is pretty exciting. Marty says more Aussies needed in baseball, Todd. They're working their way up. They sure are. Do you remember early in the season when Wayne was talking about how good Mancada smelled? Cue FanDuel. So pathetic. Let's see. Yes, I'm going tomorrow. Football team looked like shit tonight. Baldwin says if you hit soccer ball with your stick, it's going to hurt a lot more. Mateo says, I know the offensive scheme. He's talking about football. EQ says, so I bet analytics is saying Medeiros will do good tomorrow because Angels supposedly torch top pitchers. What kind of analytics team do we have? My nephew knows more about how to manage his team. Pete Alonso stays in New York Mets or leaves to another team. We had a shot at getting him this year, but we were too cheap. Junior says, was that the game tonight? Man, Cubs fans were louder than our fans. Shake my head. It's embarrassing. Because again, being a winning team, it breeds good fans, at least if you're not the Dodgers. So you get more ruckus, you get more excitement. Mancada is going to be injury prone next season. Don't re-sign him. He's waiting for the money. I agree. Opinions on Tyler Brenner. Nick says, I like it. I like the move. I didn't like it at first. The more and more I've gotten to know the guy as far as like through my sources and stuff, I think he's going to work out. But it might be a little bit more of a process. And then Alvarez says, who was the greatest manager Angels of all time? Dude, of course it's freaking Socha. Hands down. Corey says, you think Kroenke will be interested in the Angels again? There is no right price for him. It just matters if Artie's going to sell. Any news on Soler or Chris Taylor? None right now. I'm assuming they might shut down both of them. So, it is what it is. Kevin's get his credentials back. Watching Ward take strike 2 and strike 3 nearly sent me. It was bad tonight. It was really bad. Damn it, not meeting Papa Fox tomorrow again. Give me emotional damage. Angels need a bid it to clean their ass from all the shit leadership. Archangel says, I'm still recovering from Tuesday night's helmet nachos incident. It's nasty, dude. It is. Those can be very nasty. I was supposed to go to the game tonight. I'm glad I didn't. Oh, we could have saw you there tonight, Courtney. EQ says I want Moncada low key for our third base, but I'm worried about his injury prone. That's what we can't afford here in the Angels Stadium is more injuries. Tim Salmon, new manager, he doesn't want it. Do you remember the guy who used to play for Philly? He came to play for Anaheim. You think they gave Neto a fat contract? I would. I was on Ohapi bandwagon until he hit that freaking wall. Albert Pujols is a great Angel player. I would like Benji Gill. We talked about that the other night, me and Fernando as a manager. What is it? Low risk, high reward with Benji Gill. First time manager. Do you know Tim personally? I've met him a couple times off air. I tried to get him on the show a bunch of times, but he's just not that guy. But I don't know him like personally. David says, me too. Oh, I loved Ohapi, but this season changed a lot. Dude, he fell off. Tony says we are the mighty, mighty Nachos. Nick knows him. Man, if you could get him on the show, Nick, that shit, I would throw all kinds of cool stuff your way. Strange says, low-key, Artie probably uses ChatGPT as a shitty analytics team. Artie, you cheap fuck. That was the worst fans on their phones all night. Well, yeah, those are the ones that suck. I don't know if they were there tonight as far as Cubs fans doing that. Silseth arriving at John Wayne Airport only to be told fly back, you've been optioned, obviously is brutal. That is brutal, dude. You think, man, I'm gonna be wearing the red and white again. Not so much. Who's your favorite Angel player right now? Angels and of all time, of all MLB right now. Right now. I do like pitching, so I would say Skeens. When McCutchen was in his prime, I really liked McCutchen. Vladimir Guerrero is my all-time favorite. Tim Salmon was number one until we got Guerrero, and I told the story about how good he was to my kids. Total class act. But yeah, I love those two guys big time. And as far as like right now on the Angels, I'd have to say it's El Capitan. It's Zach Neto. Neto is a fucking gamer. He's been hit several times. A lot of guys would be like, I need a day off. I have a cocoa. I have a bruise. He's just, no, I want to play. Like he is legit the captain. I mean, the Angels need to make it a thing to where they could sew on a C on the jersey, and also an A for assistant captain. If our boy Ohapi was hitting good again, he'd be the assistant captain, and then like in hockey, and then the captain would be freaking Neto. Neto is just a gamer, and I see some of that in Simo. So when he starts hitting and he starts figuring it out, damn, dude, we're gonna have two Netos on the team, but really one and one Simo. I can't wait for that. Nick says happens to be my uncle. Oh shit, that's awesome, Nick. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to have Tim Salmon on. I've had a few Angel guys on from the 2002 season, and I would love to get him on the page. Have a couple of his jerseys. As long as they stay in Anaheim, I'm okay with higher prices, Baldwin says. Daniel says, I'm already paying for a shitty team. That's true. He'd have to spend money on the team first, at least one or two big signings. Jed York could be right there. And also 714 tickets with our Heedy promo can get you a discount on the team. Archangel says the last game of this year, the Angels should give butt plugs to close another shitty season. Pacific Coast says depends on the owner. If it's a profit first owner with no heart to win, basically Artie again, I'd be pretty pissed. I don't think that would happen because you got to think about it. Artie bought this team at the very shittiest it was worth. So it was worth about 185, 186. That's what he paid for this team. Not 186 billion, 186 million. So you go from that much to a team that's worth potentially 3.5 or higher. He's come out very, very good on that investment. I don't see anybody spending $4 billion not to get a return. You would think that the owner would take at least a Cohen approach and be like, yeah, dude, we're going to spend on this team. I want to win now. Let's get the best guys. Let's go through the organization. Do we need better scouts? Do we need a better video room? Do we need a better workout area? Do we need better international scouts? Do we need better facilities? What do I need to do here? How can I reach out to the fan base? How can I reach out to the community? How can I be that guy that people look up to? Because again, a lot of ego comes with these owners. Just look at Artie Moreno. He loves to be praised. And when he's not, he hides like a little rat or a cockroach when you turn the light on. So again, an owner's going to, if I'm spending this much money, just like Kroenke's loved in the LA area because he spent no taxpayer money on SoFi and he built a winner and he's got a title. So he brought a title to LA. Anytime you could do that in any market, not just LA, you're king for at least you bought yourself a good decade. Because I mean, look how much we glazed the Angels to this day from 2002. Those guys are our heroes. Those guys will always be anointed as Hall of Famers in our book because they did the unpredictable, the improbable. They won a fucking World Series when nobody thought we could do it, even us. So that was a magical season. We'll always have that memory until we get another one, if we get another one. But in the meantime, I think you will get an owner who is going to come in here balls out, ready to make an impression on the league, on the field, and in the community. And I think it's going to be somebody good. I really do. I think someone, and not to have my Halo honk on or nothing like that, but I have a good feeling that whoever buys this team is going to want to be like just front and center. And you can't be front and center if the team's losing. So, yeah. Favorites in the AL and NL. I like Detroit to get it together and really make a run. And I actually like Milwaukee. And I want to say San Diego finally gets over the Dodgers, but if Milwaukee's there first, they may take out the Padres or they may take out the Dodgers. Milwaukee's sneaky good. I mean, sneaky good. So we'll have to see what happens right there. Guys are talking about some of the stuff right here. What do you think about Pujols for manager? I like Gil. Shout out to you and Fernando for yesterday's show, but I think they need Pujols as manager to recruit some talent. They might be the only way to get free agents back. Well, the culture's got to change. Would you take Langston as a pitching coach? I would, but I need to see more fire. I don't need a nice guy. Him and Gooby would know how to talk to pitchers, but you do need to, to be mean at times as well. Tony C says, thanks, Todd. Great meeting you tonight. It was a nice night. And I'll make up those tickets to you because, again, we didn't get to sit where we wanted to. So I appreciate your patience. Also, Mateo says, I have a weird feeling a person who will buy the Angels is going to be the Warriors owner. If it is, that's even better because we want a guy or a group with a pedigree of winning. Also, I watched the game tonight, and man, those umps were not on y'all's side. They're not, and they're never. Angels get fucked all the time. Talk about Eckstein. Eckstein was a great Halo. His brother I think, was managing or a hitting coach or something on the Pirates. But David's been a good ambassador to the game. He was awesome while I was here. He was lucky enough to win a World Series with Spezio and a few others with St. Louis. I think even Gloss got another one over there. Edmonds got a couple. So, yeah, I mean, those guys, a lot of former Angels left here, but Eckstein was a great player. I haven't had him on the podcast, but that's another want. Lewis says, great podcast, bro. We'll see the season out and watch the young guys. Peace out. Well, I appreciate you listening, Lewis. Let's see. Also, David was the guy for the Angels. He was. I liked him as a hitter, a contact dude, because the Angels had a good recipe there for a while. A good number 1, number 2 to set up the 3, 4, and 5s. That's before analytics. That's just good old-fashioned baseball, and the Angels don't do that no more. So we'll have to see what moves forward because I think that's a big part of the Angels moving forward as a franchise is getting rid of the analytics. So we'll see what happens. So Tyler says Halos need an owner that actually talks to the media and the fans and handles the criticism with answers on how to be competitive and make the team better. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're never gonna win again if you're hiding in the freaking if you have someone that he doesn't even trust to be a mouthpiece, be the mouthpiece, you're gonna have problems. You're just gonna have problems. So with that being said, we'll call it a night tonight. Max Market Pros, if you want to jump your social media or your small business to the next level, hit them up at maxmarketpros.com. Also hit up our sponsor 714 Tickets, as they give you the best ticket prices and the best discounts. And also go over to Brewheim to get a beer on us. Also OC Dugout, where you could buy, sell, and trade sports memorabilia and other things. They are the best, and they have autograph signings and everything. They also have an Anaheim marketplace where you can buy and sell and trade stuff over there. It's not just that, it's comic books. It's a little bit of everything at the Anaheim marketplace. If the Angels let the fans coach the game well, win 2 series in a row, I think we would, because, again, we see the team from a different angle, and we understand how baseball is. And the Angels keep saying that they have invented the new wheel. They've changed things, not so fast. And that's the problem with it. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The Angels still try to fix it. So it is what it is. Tonight was frustrating, but we'll be back again tomorrow night. It was great to, again, say and see everybody tonight. Eric and Eddie and Eddie Colvin was there. You had, like my boy Tony C sitting next to us. James, a.k.a. Saucy, was there, and his wife. Ran into a gang of people that I hadn't seen in a long time. So it was really cool. Cool vibes, but the game was a shit show. We lost. So we'll have to get him again tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. Because, again, if this team is going to be any better, they just got to keep improving, got to get the batting averages going. It's hard to say after you only mustered 3 hits and 2 of them were solo blasts by the same guy. So I need to see them get back to bite, kick, scratch and claw and get those hits. Doesn't matter how hard you hit them. It's just hit them where they ain't. It's like they used to tell me all the time, hit them where they ain't. So with that being said, DJ Pass says, win or lose, I look forward to your show. You always bring some light to the Halo community. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate that contribution, DJ. Really do. And let's see what happens tomorrow. I appreciate all of you guys and gals. You guys are the best part of the show. And we'll catch you tomorrow night, as I will play you out. I'll play you out with the Marshall Award. Well, first off, whose fault is it?
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. I'm the problem. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. I'm the problem.
I need your seed.
Who's got the biggest biceps? Marsha. Who's got shoulders like a man? Marsha. Who's got a ring that's lit? Marsha. Who's got a thing for young surfers? Marsha. Who put the drill to grill? Marsha. Who could slam a shack? Marsha.
Congratulations, pal.